Today I'm going to do a review on the Wilson 460103 4G cell phone booster. This is for all the major carriers: Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, Sprint. And I'm really going to just talk about how I installed it and what I think of it so far. I've had it installed for a few days now and really have been impressed with this brand, and I would highly recommend this. They have several good reviews online, and so I was having high expectations when I purchased this, and I've just been really impressed, and I would definitely buy their products again, and I would recommend it for sure. So like I said, this is a 4G cell phone booster, and this is for the large building, complete coverage for a house. I think it said about 5,000 square feet, but of course that's all dependent on your terrain and house structure, etc. But anyway, inside of our house we have usually had about no more than 2 bars, though, if you're lucky, 2 bars of 4G. There's only one tower that covers our town, and I live outside of town, and this is definitely something that we needed, and super impressed. So I'm going to show you the outside antenna. This comes with a yagi directional antenna, the booster, and then the inside access point antenna. So luckily at my house we have a large antenna tower that I was able to mount the outside antenna on, and also luckily our old DirecTV or dish system, we switched to DirecTV, had old RG6 cabling that already ran into the house that we were able to reuse, so that worked out perfectly. They include RG6 the way it is, and so that's the standard that they want you to use for not as much loss in the cable. So that worked out beautiful. It's kind of shooting into some trees, so I didn't really want to get up any higher, but super impressed with just how far and how well it's able to grab the signal and bring it inside. So I'll show you where the cable goes into the attic and then where we have our access point, and I'll talk a little bit more about it. Alright, so we're inside the attic, and right out here is the tower where I showed you that has the antenna on it. The cable runs inside here, and over here to the box that we have in the attic. So this thing amplifies all of the major frequencies. 4 green lights means everything's working operational and not getting any interference from the outside antenna. This box does have some pretty expensive circuitry in it that will alert you if the inside antenna is receiving too much interference from the outside antenna, and it will shut down this, and that way you'll be able to not damage any of the amplification circuitry in this. So we just have the outside antenna running in and the inside one running over there, which I'll show you in a moment. But by default it comes, I believe, on the highest settings, and then in the event that you're not getting enough distance both vertically and horizontally and you're getting interference, you'll be able to turn down the gain settings on this unit. But it's up high enough and far enough vertically that we haven't had any issues, so been very pleased with this. It does get a little warm, so we'll see how if that's going to pose any problems in the future. But so here's where we have the antenna, and they recommend, if you don't want to run it cable inside, that you can put it face down over the area, maybe the middle of the house where you want the best signal. And we did have it inside, but actually found that having it up here we would receive better signal. So I just wanted to get up here and kind of show the view that it's getting, how it's kind of shooting. It's kind of shooting basically straight into the trees, but like I said, the signal that this thing's pulling in is just unbelievable. It came with some bracket mounting. This thing weighs, in the inside access point, they just weigh no more than a pound it's just unbelievable how big this thing is and how much, I mean, it doesn't even weigh anything. So I was pretty impressed with that. And the cable runs down and then into the house using the existing cabling. So that definitely saved me from a lot of time having to run some cabling. Anyway, like I said, this is the Wilson DBPro 4G booster, the 460103. This thing was about $498.99, so $500. Covers what they say a large building, complete coverage, so approximately 5,000 feet. I would definitely recommend checking this out if you have poor coverage in your area. I've just been exceptionally pleased with this, and you'll read all the reviews. I couldn't find a review that was less than 4 stars. Just a great company, quality products, and they just simply work. So check it out. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. If I didn't explain anything or have any questions, let me know. I'll try to answer them. And I appreciate it. Thanks. One more thing that I did want to mention was that, like I said before, if I was lucky, I would be 2 bars in the house and maybe 1 bar in the basement if I was lucky. Most times I wouldn't even get 1 bar in the basement. So now, having this installed, it's improved my signal to having 4 and 5 bars upstairs. Occasionally 3 if you're in the corner of the house, but usually 4 and 5, and having 2 and 3 in the basement. So, and that, I really didn't even play around with the antenna much, especially the inside antenna. I just tried 2 different locations, and having it face down in between the rafters was what yielded the best results. But if you have more time and want to play around with it, I'm sure I have a better location that I could put it. But it's been working great for me, and that's just, these are my results, and I have a pretty good suspicion that you guys would have similar results. If you have signal outside, you'll be able to drastically improve it inside. So thanks, guys.